Bria Hartley and the Sophie Cunningham attack. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Connecticut.
Fans are absolutely fuming after Bria Hartley went full villain mode and mocked Sophie Cunningham right after taking her out. Yep, you heard that right. We're talking about an injury lab moment that has the WNBA world heated.
Like, more evidence is definitely coming out of the pipeline in regards to Sophie Cunningham and Bria Hartley. Now, we know there was a situation that took place in the second quarter of the game, possibly at the 8-minute, 9-second mark. That is a Bria Hartley, diving into the knees of Sophie Cunningham. Now, we know that play has since went viral, and I'm here to tell you more news is coming out in regards to Bria Hartley, and it looked like she was kind of pleased with what she done.
And the worst part? The league is silent. No punishment. No accountability. Just vibes. Should Hartley be suspended immediately, or is this just part of the game? Let's talk about what actually went down, because this isn't just a little on-court bump. This was flat-out dirty. We're in Connecticut, second quarter, about 8 minutes left. Sophie Cunningham is moving into position, and here comes Bria Hartley, who decides, you know what, basketball isn't enough. Let's try some WWE moves.
Slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls and makes collision.
She goes right into Sophie's knees, and boom, Cunningham goes down in a heap. Now, players get tangled up all the time. But this didn't look accidental. It looked targeted. The clip instantly went viral because everyone saw the same thing. Hartley aiming low, Sophie dropping. And then the reaction that turned this whole mess into something uglier than it already was.
Since went viral. Somebody sent me this late last night. And this is the face of Bria Hartley, man, laughing. She's laughing after colliding with none other than Sophie Cunningham. Evil, vicious, malicious. Just my goodness, bro.
Instead of being concerned, instead of showing even a sliver of sportsmanship, Hartley looked pleased, laughing, celebrating, like she had just accomplished something great. It wasn't just dirty, it was mocking. And fans were not having it. Immediately, the timeline lit up, evil, vicious, malicious. People called it a disgrace. And honestly, they weren't wrong. The optics here couldn't be worse. You've got one player writhing in pain and another jumping around like she just hit a buzzer beater. Except she didn't hit a shot. She hit someone's knees.
Oh, and Cunningham is down. My goodness.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. Usually, when a player goes down like Sophie did, the broadcast spends time analyzing and talking about whether it was intentional. But this time, the camera cut away like nothing happened. Commentators didn't dwell on it. No urgency, no concern, just moving right along. Which is wild because Sophie Cunningham isn't some end-of-bench name. She's a big piece for Phoenix. And yet, the way this was covered made it feel like just another foul. Nothing to see here, except there was a lot to see. And the fans caught it instantly. The photo made it worse. Some sharp-eyed photographer caught Hartley grinning right after the hit. And when that image hit Twitter, it was over. That one still frame told the whole story. Sophie in pain, Bria smiling. That's when the anger went nuclear. Fans called her out for being reckless, heartless, a danger on the court. And they weren't just talking about this one play. They brought receipts. People started digging into Hartley's history, pointing out her track record of being out of control, saying this wasn't new behavior. It was just the latest chapter. Meanwhile, where's the league? Where's Kathy Engelbert? Nowhere to be found. This is the same commissioner who will hand out fines if a player complains about officiating, but apparently can't be bothered when one player nearly takes out another's career. The silence was deafening, and fans picked up on that too. Comments poured in. The league doesn't care. Protecting players should be priority number one. How do you ignore this? And honestly, they're right. You can't claim to grow the WNBA while letting players become punching bags. Now, Sophie's family got involved, which made it even more emotional. Her sister spoke out. Her mom tweeted, calling Hartley a disgrace and accusing her of being a reckless player everywhere she's been. And you know what? That hits harder than any highlight reel. Because this isn't just about basketball. It's about family watching one of their own get hurt and seeing the person responsible smirk about it. If you're Sophie's mom or sister, how do you not feel rage when the player who just hurt your daughter laughs about it? Fans connected with that immediately. The empathy shifted the debate. It wasn't just about a dirty play. It was about humanity that, let's not forget Sophie herself. She didn't go on a full rant, But she retweeted her sister's words, which says a lot. That's a quiet but powerful endorsement. It's basically saying, yep, my family is right. I co-sign this. And in this kind of situation, that matters, because Sophie's not the type to start Twitter beefs or throw wild accusations. She's fiery on the court, but she knows the line. So when she indirectly backs up her family's anger, fans take it seriously. The whole situation also shines a light on how the WNBA handles, or fails to handle, discipline. Think back. We've seen elbows thrown, shoves delivered, hard fouls that clearly went beyond the spirit of the game. And what usually happens? A slap on the wrist, maybe a fine, rarely a suspension. It's almost like the league is afraid to set a standard. But here's the problem. If you don't set the line, players keep pushing further. Today, it's Sophie getting her knees taken out. Tomorrow, it could be Caitlin Clark, Aya Wilson, or Brianna Stewart. You think the league wants one of its stars sidelined because of just part of the game violence? Because that's the road they're on. And let's bring Caitlin Clark into this for context, because she's the biggest draw the league has right now. In her rookie year, she took more hard fouls than anyone. Fans called out the targeting. Commentators called out the bias. And now, in her second year, it's still happening. The league has allowed this culture of, if you can't stop her, hit her, to fester. Hartley's play on Sophie is part of that same mindset. Take out your opponent physically. And if the league doesn't punish it, why not keep doing it? This is how stars get shortened careers. This is how fans lose faith in the product. And this is why people are calling out Engelbert by name. Let's also talk about the hypocrisy. You know what the league does care about? Fining players for criticizing refs. If you speak your mind about officiating, boom, here's a fine. But if you take out someone's knees and laugh about it, crickets. It's almost like the priorities are completely backwards. Protect the refs' feelings, but not the players' bodies. Make it make sense. Then you've got people defending Hartley, saying Sophie Cunningham isn't innocent either, that she's a troublemaker. Sure, Sophie plays with edge. She gets under people's skin. But there's a massive difference between trash talk, hard-nosed play, and targeting someone's knees. One is part of the game. The other is career-threatening. And pretending they're the same just exposes how low the bar has been set. Stephanie White tried to take the high road, talking about her players being good humans and selfless teammates, which is fine. That's what a coach does. But it doesn't change the reality. Sophie's mom and sister's words cut deeper because they didn't sugarcoat it. They said what everyone was thinking. Hartley plays reckless, and the league doesn't care to AT this point. The WNBA has a choice. Either step in and suspend Hartley to send a message, or keep ignoring it and risk more players getting hurt. And let's be real. If Caitlin Clark had been on the receiving end of this hit, you know there'd be punishment. That double standard is what drives fans crazy. It shouldn't take your biggest star being targeted for you to act. Protect everyone or protect no one. So now. Fans are watching closely. They're angry. They're vocal. And they're not letting this one slide. Hartley's mocking face became the symbol of what's wrong with the league's discipline. And unless Engelbert wakes up, that image will stick. The league can either stand for protecting its athletes or stand for nothing. Right now, it's looking a lot like nothing. The fallout from this whole mess is only getting bigger, because now it isn't just about Bria Hartley or Sophie Cunningham. It's about how the WNBA itself is viewed. When the fans see a player get taken out and the league does nothing, it sends a message. We don't care. And if there's one thing sports fans can't stand, it's a league that doesn't protect its athletes. The WNBA wants to grow its audience, increase its TV ratings, prove that women's basketball deserves equal attention. But how can you expect fans to buy into a league that looks the other way when one of its own stars gets mocked after an injury? It feels like the WNBA keeps shooting itself in the foot. On one hand, they've got the Caitlin Clark effect. Packed arenas, record-breaking TV ratings, new eyeballs on the league. On the other hand, what do those new fans see? Clark taking elbows. Sophie Cunningham getting hit low. Physical fouls being laughed off. IT doesn't take a genius to realize casual fans will tune out if they feel the game is rigged or unsafe. And let's be real. If Donald Trump actually does step in like Stephen A. Smith hinted, it's not going to look good for the WNBA. Having the former president threaten a federal investigation because the league can't police itself? That's embarrassing. That's not growth. That's a national controversy waiting to explode. And here's the kicker. Trump loves this kind of fight. He already went after the NFL during the Colin Kaepernick kneeling protests. He made it political theater. You don't think he'd jump all over this? A young white superstar like Caitlin Clark being targeted on the court, mocked after fouls, and ignored by the league, that's tailor-made for Trump's base. It's cultural war fuel. And the WNBA, instead of keeping control of its own house, is practically handing him the script. If he steps in, it won't just be about sports anymore. It'll be politics, race, gender, a whole national storm. But here's where the WNBA leadership seems completely out of touch. They act like ignoring it makes it go away. No, ignoring it makes it grow. Fans don't forget. They replay the clips. They screenshot the smiles. They drag the receipts. Social media doesn't let scandals disappear anymore. So now, Bria Hartley's mocking face after Sophie went down is going to live forever. And unless Engelbert suspends her, or at least issues some real discipline, that's going to become part of the WNBA's brand. Cheap shots, no punishment. Players laughing while others get hurt. And the players themselves aren't blind either. You think Caitlin Clark's camp isn't paying attention? You think Breanna Stewart, Aya Wilson, or Nafisa Collier don't notice? They know the league hasn't set boundaries. And if stars feel like they're not being protected, what happens next? You could see stars speaking out, creating rifts inside the locker room, or even threatening to sit games if nothing changes. That's the kind of chaos that kills momentum. What makes this even crazier is that the league loves to promote the sisterhood of the WNBA, like everyone's family. But families don't laugh when one member is on the ground clutching her leg. Families don't stay silent when someone's career might be in danger. The hypocrisy is glaring, and fans aren't stupid. They see through the fake slogans when the actions don't match. Now about Hartley herself. Let's call it what it is. This wasn't competitive fire. This wasn't heat of the moment. It was reckless. And the mocking laugh after made it malicious. And when people bring up her past incidents, they're not doing it to pile on. They're doing it because patterns matter. If this is who she's always been, then the league has known and allowed it. That makes it even worse. Meanwhile, Sophie Cunningham is the one who pays the price. She's the one risking injury. She's the one whose family has to watch helplessly. And she's the one who's probably going to be told by the league, suck it up, it's part of the game. That's the culture problem right there. Players who get hurt or targeted are brushed off, while players who cross the line are protected by silence. It's backwards. And honestly, fans aren't just mad at Hartley. They're mad at the bigger picture. They're tired of a league that acts progressive but doesn't actually protect its players. They're tired of refs who swallow their whistles, executives who pretend not to see, and a commissioner who only shows up when it's PR friendly. They want accountability. They want consequences. They want to know that when their favorite player gets targeted, the league will have their back. Right now, they don't believe that. So, where does this go next? That depends entirely on Engelbert and the WNBA front office. They could finally grow a spine, suspend Hartley, and make it clear that mocking an injured player isn't tolerated. Or they could keep doing what they always do, nothing, and hope it all blows over. But if they pick option 2, they're playing with fire. Because Trump is circling. Because Stephen A. Smith already put out there. Because fans aren't shutting up. And if the WNBA lets this slide, don't be shocked when the story explodes outside of basketball. Don't be shocked when Fox News runs with it. Don't be shocked when Trump tweets about IT to AT that point. The league won't be able to control the narrative. It'll be too late. And it all started because Bria Hartley laughed at Sophie Cunningham after taking her out. Here's the question. Will the WNBA finally take action? Or are they just waiting for Trump to turn this into a circus? Because make no mistake, the league is running out of time. Fans are watching. Players are watching. And if nothing changes, the fallout could be bigger than anyone expects. If you're fired up about this, hit like and subscribe.